Welcome, everybody. If you've arrived here at 6:30 p.m., you've arrived in the right place for the Be On Air Forum, and we're really excited to have you here tonight. Our plan for this evening is to be learning all about Canva, but before we get started, I just want to welcome everybody. The Be On Air Forum is put on by the Be On Air network of media schools, which includes Ohio Media School, Illinois Media School, Colorado Media School, and Miami Media School. We are 7 campuses across 4 states, and we do nothing but train in media. So we invite you to get to know us if you haven't met us before. And I want to introduce myself. My name is Linda Lejeski. I'm the National Employer Representative for the Be On Air Network of Media Schools. It is really my pleasure, along with the Career Service Directors, to bring you together with industry professionals to provide workshops and opportunities for you to learn more about those topics that are most important to you as you're launching your business or as you continue to grow and develop along the way. Tonight, we are going to be talking about Canva. Canva is a very important buzzword as we move around the sphere and everybody is creating content. It's so very important to have those tools in place for you to be able to create the best content possible so that you can be noticed and your brand can continue to grow. We are very, very happy to have Carlos Chavras back with us tonight. He led a webinar 2 weeks ago, which you can see on YouTube. You can go back and take a peek at that. And tonight he's going to dig even deeper. We're going to take a look at how to put together some promotional material. He's going to have a presentation that shows you something all put together, and then we're going to deconstruct so you can understand step by step how we go about doing this. We invite you to continue to grow with us, to watch us on the Be On Air Forum here on YouTube. You can catch us live as we stream, or you can catch our library anytime you might be interested in learning more. So without further ado, I would love to reintroduce you to Carl Chavras Jr., who is here. I'm not sure if you're in Denver right now or if you're in another city, Carlos. Where are we talking to you from?
I am in Birmingham, Alabama currently.
There you go. You never know where Carlos is going to be, but we've got him tonight for this hour. And so, Carlos, I'm going to turn this over to you. For our guests here, if you have any questions as we're moving through this workshop, please use the chat option. Type your questions in. We'll put them across the screen, and we will answer them as we have these little breaks along the way so that you too can become a Canva expert. Take it away, Carlos.
Yes, thank you so very much, Linda. It is such a great pleasure to be here with each and every last one of you this evening. I hope tonight we're all able to learn a little bit more about Canva and how Canva operates and how Canva works. Like Linda said, tonight we're going to learn how to actually we're going to look at a flyer that is was already put together. Then we're going to start from the very beginning of how we actually were able to construct that flyer beginning to end and make the entire thing work. Is going to be just like magic right here tonight on Canva. So welcome everyone, and let us get started. So let's see. I am if my screen could be shared here. Let's see. Let's get the screen up here. Okay. All right. So here we are, everyone. As I mentioned, we're taking a flyer that was already put together, and we're using every single element of this flyer to be able to make this entire thing come to fruition as we would like to see. So as you all see here, this is a flyer. Unlock your creativity, Canva for content creators. This is the actual promotional flyer for tonight. So this was created in Canva. So we're going to take this exact flyer here and we're going to reconstruct this flyer from beginning to end. Like as you see, I point out a few things here. There's a lot of words that are here. Lots of different elements here. There's a photo of a laptop that's in the background there. You also have more words here at the bottom and some graphics and elements that goes in front of it, kind of a paint kind of element, which is called it's a graphic. There's also a photo. So and also here there is a QR code and a few other things. So Let's hop right into it. Also on our at the bottom here of the page, we have a blank canvas, a blank presentation, so that we could literally reconstruct this presentation that's right here on the top. So a few things that we'll start with. We'll start with the elements here. You see there are a few different backgrounds that are orange that we'll use for tonight. So we'll start there. So those are elements. So if you're in Canva, you have a few. Your tap your handle on the left side of the screen. You'll always see design, elements, text, brand, uploads, draw, projects, apps. Where in your apps is where you'll be able to find all of your other apps that are related to Canva and the magic tools and all those kind of things. So we'll start first with the element that we're looking for. So we want to create this orange panel here, this orange kind of splash thing on Canva. So what we'll type in, we'll type paint, Paint, and splash. And this is what we will use in order. And so first it'll pop up as a graphic, and you want it to pop up as a graphic. You don't really want it to pop up as a photo because you can't really change the color of your photo. Some photos allow you to change the colors, but for the most part, it's only your graphics in Canva where you're able to actually change the photos. Now there's some frames here as well. Depending on the type of frame, you can change the color scheme around the actual frame if there is a border around the actual frame itself. So we're going to see all. We're going to take a look at all of our elements here. And if you notice, we have a few. So this is what we're looking for. So at the top here, you see that kind of paint splash. So we want something that's very, very similar to that. So to be able to recreate this from top to bottom. So we're going to take the first ones that we see here. Okay. We're going to take this first one and we'll add it to the screen. And also, based upon the elements that we're using, you'll see also magic recommendations. So it'll also give more recommendations based upon the elements and graphics that you are using already. So if you notice, this just it's in black here. So we just have to change it to the color in which we need for it to work. So we'll start with this orange. This is the orange, and this color is FE 5000. So if you're in Canva and you're looking for this orange in particular, it is FE 5000. So we'll take this splash. We're going to add it to the top of our screen. It's not the exact same one, so we're just here to replicate this. And when you're using graphics, it's just depending on how you're what you're using and how you're using it. It doesn't have to fit into the entire screen here, right? So we want it to be able to be somewhat like this in the corner, where only where the entire orange is covering the top part, but yet enough to be able to still be in the graphic itself, if that makes sense. So we have that, and then we'll. And the cool thing about Canva, you can always zoom in on anything that you need to be able to zoom in on. So there's text here. There's text that goes on top of that. It says the Be On Air Forum and Media Makers Content Creators Club presents. So we're going to take that. We're going to recreate those words there. We'll zoom back out of our initial creation, and we're going to add what we call text. Okay, and there's a text box, so or a text button. So there, the text, there's a few different. We talked about this before, but you have heading, subheading, and body of text. And so here we're going to simply we're going to try a subheading here, and we're going to change the font of our subheading to Cerebri. Okay, Cerebri is what we're going to change the our change our font to. And always remember, in Canva, Canva has a lot of different fonts and text styles, so always be sure to take a look based upon what you're looking to create, and use the text font that actually works for you. So again, we're going to recreate the words here. We want to recreate the Be on Air Forum and Media Makers Content Creators Club presents. We just type that here. We're going to make all of the words capitalized here. Forum. Okay, the Be on Air. Uh, okay, the Be on Air Forum and Media Makers. I believe it's Content Creators Club presents. Okay, content. All right. If you notice, that's rather large. It takes up a lot of space there. So what we want to do is we want to be able to make this text slightly smaller. So we're going to change the size of our text here at the top, and we're recreating what we have here at the top. At the top, the font is about a 6.6 size. So we'll change this font here to match the size of that font. So we'll just type 6.6 into that and press enter. And now we have our font size there. Now we could actually make this slightly larger. So let's do that. We also want to make sure that this is going to be centered. And since we have something here at the top, we also have something that we could to be able to reference. And that's the great thing about this tonight. Okay. And there is an effect on the words, and the effect is lift. So we're going to lift to add just a quick style. And there's various styles that you can play around with in the effects when you're working with text and other things here. There's neon. You can make things neon. You can make them look glitchy. You can make the words echo. So if you were to take a look, you can see the echo there. But for this sake, we're changing to lift, and we want to make sure that we have the correct intensity on that. Okay, so the intensity here is at 100. So we just want to make sure that our intensity is also at 100 on the lift there. All right. So now we have unlock your creativity. So this is more text. So what we'll do this time, we'll add a heading to what we're doing, and once we get everything placed, we can go back and further make things how we need them to be once we uh once we have our all of our elements here. All right, so we have unlock your creativity, but we're going to use the regular brush. Okay. We're also going to make it. Let's see the size of the one at the top. I'm sorry if I'm going back and forth really fast here. Okay. Unlock your creativity. And there's a shadow there. So we'll take a look at what we have at the top with this shadow and how this. So the offset here is at 37. The direction is at -45. Transparency is at 66, and there's zero blur on that. So we're going to try to make that as close to what we have at the top as possible here.
Carlos, and it's lowercase too. So you're gonna have to deal with the case.
Okay, yeah. Sorry. Thanks for pointing it out, John. Okay, there we go. Let's see. This size here is size 45.5 is the font size. So let's get that. Okay. And if you notice here, so this right here is kind of, perfectly symmetrical and straight. It's a straightforward. But here this has is kind of curved. And so we want to make it curved just like that. So we'll show you how to do that right here. So we're going to pull this up a little. Then there's a button here where you're able to change the actual direction of it. So right now I have this at about -2 degrees. Yep. So this is about the same. This is about -2 degrees here for that as well. All right. So we're going to focus now on the effects here. Let's take a look at these effects again. Offset 37%, -45%. Okay. Let's see, 37 and the direction. All right, is already -45. And then there's zero blur. And also, let's see, transparency is at 66. So we're just going to increase this transparency here to 66. And that is how we're able to match exactly what we have there. So now there's an image here. All right. So this image, as you can see, could move around here in Canva to how we need it to be. So we're just going to take this exact same image, and for time's sake, so that we don't have to search for that image, we're going to copy the image from up top here, and we're going to bring this down to the bottom, and we're going to paste the image. We also want to add this. I'll say we've talked about before layering things. Okay, so that is our image there, and we're going to position this. It's pretty okay. So we're going to bring this up slightly there. Then we're going to position our words forward. So if you can't really see the big change there, I'll show you what truly changed. So as we zoom in here, we're going to go back. So right here, you see we have it kind of right at the Y on creativity. And so, but we don't want the Y to be covered. We want all of the words to be able to show here. So what we'll do, we'll take this and we'll simply bring this forward. Very slight change, but if you notice now we see in the entire unlock your creativity with nothing from the words being hidden, but rather still on top, slightly on top of the photo and graphic itself.
Also looks like, sorry, also looks like unlock your creativity. The drop shadow that you have there, or the effect, has a dark color on it, right? To kind of give it a little definition on top of the graphic there.
See that one more time, John. Let's see.
So it looks like there's if you go to the effects palette, click your color there down below. Yep. And hit black, and I think it'll bring it out a little bit
Okay.
more. You see how it, yeah, that looks like what the effect was, just so it's not light on light.
Gotcha. Yep. Yep. Okay. Okay. Thanks for catching that. All right. So now what we have here, we have more words. We have Canva. So now, and then we also have the actual Canva logo. So I'll show you. Let's start with the words Canva and how we get there. So we're going to now add more text. This time we'll add another heading. We'll type the words Canva, and it appears the size of this Canva at the top is 197 as the font size. So we'll change this. We'll change a few things. We'll make sure we change the color. That's first. Then font size 197. Then now it's time to actually change the font itself. If you notice, we spelled Canva wrong. Yes, there's an A in Canva. Oh no, okay, it's there. It's there. It's just at the bottom. All right, so now it's time. So what we do now, this Canva here is done in Zoomy Rough, and which is also bold. Zoomy Rough Bold is the font that is used there. So we'll take this, click the actual font, and we'll change the actual font. All right. So that is how we have that, and it's exactly the same size. Let's see. And we'll take a look to see if there are. Let's see how this also is positioned. So this is slightly slanted as well. So we'll slant this as well. Maybe about a -2. I wanna say that. There's also a -2. We're gonna bring the size of this in. All right. Okay. And we're going to add this somewhere, somewhere here. We'll also check our effects here. All right. So there is a shadow. Shadow is at 41. Let's see. And we're going to change our color as well here. Also change that color to black. And we have a few more effects. We have the direction is -87. So we'll change that to -87. Then there's more. This actually has a blur. So the previous things did not have a blur. This has a blur at about 46%. So we'll change this for a blur at 46, 46. Okay. And then also transparency. The transparency here is at 57 up top. So just going to recreate that for transparency of 57 as well. So now we should have exactly what we have at the top here at the bottom. Okay. So now we're at the actual Canva logo. How do you find the Canva logo? Very great question. So glad you all asked. So the Canva logo, you'll be able to find in Elements. All right. And so we're going to search back in Elements. Elements is where you'll be able to find almost anything that you'll be able to need, from frames to shapes, graphics, all kind of things there in your Elements. So we're going to search for the Canva logo. Okay. we should be able to see a few things. All right. So here, once we type in the Canva logo, we have a few graphics. One that says the words Canva, one that has just the C, the Canva C inside of the Canva logo, and the Canva logo itself. So we're going to actually take the Canva logo. We're going to add this to our screen. Now at the top, we're going to take this exact logo. Okay. And we'll move this. Let's actually lock this. Let's lock this in place. Okay. Okay. So we're going to add this. Let's see where it's positioned up top. Okay. So it's at the top of the actual Canva. So we'll add this to the top, bring this in slightly. And then we're also going to make this, let's see. Yeah, we'll make this possibly a -5 angle. Let's see. I'm sorry. -5. Okay. And we're also going to check to see if there's any elements here on the photo. It doesn't appear to be anything on the logo itself. It's just there. Could possibly make this slightly bigger. Bring that in some. Oh no. Actually, we could change the size back. We'll still bring this in slightly. Let's see. Okay, we'll bring that in just a little bit there. And in order to be able to, so when once the graphic is much smaller in size, until you zoom in, there's only so much you're able to do. So it kind of guide you in a sense of where you want to position it. But if you want to position things somewhat better, it's always better to zoom in so that you could actually position it to where you think it should be. All right. And that'll be able to help as you're positioning things. So now we're going to add 4 content creators. All right. So we're going to add another text. We're going to go with heading once again. We're going to caps everything here for content creators. Okay. So now we're going to bring this down and up. We're going to change the color here. We'll make this text white. We're also going to change the font. So the same font that we use for Canva, we're going to use for this as well. Okay. For content creators. Now the size here, this is a size 71. All right. So we had a 31.5. Now we're going to change that size to 71. We're going to check for the effects that are here. This also has a shadow. All right, we're going to change the color of our shadow. Let's see, let's make sure. So the color of the shadow here is black. So we're going to change the color of the shadow to also black. And this is going to be found in elements. So as you're working with what you have, you're going to change you'll change all of the things for text and all that. Part of your effects is where you want to be able to be for those things. Now, so for content creators, so it starts, let's see where the actual wording starts. So you have Canva, and then for content creators right below, we're going to take that. Let's see, let's make sure all of our effects are together. So the offset here is 9. We're going to change our offset, make sure that is 9. All right, the direction is already negative 45, so we're going to leave the direction alone. But there is a blur. The blur is at 44, so we're going to make sure we add that, and then the transparency is at 80, so we're going to also add that for the transparency. So and we're going to come back and fix these words here at the top. We're going to let's see. Okay. All right, so we have content creators. So we have those. We have that now. Now let us be able to. There's more kind of background things for splash and stuff like that. So let's go back to elements. All right, and we're going to be able to find those things. So we have. Let's see. We're going to look for paint splash again, and it may take you a few. It may take you a while to find exactly what you need. So just always be mindful of that as you're working within Canva itself. So let's see, and it doesn't have to be the exact one that we'll use. But we're going to try our best to get very close to it. So we're going to take this element here, and we're going to add this to our screen because this is very similar to what we have at the top. Okay. All right. We're going to move this over just so that we'll capture all of everything here. Uh, so we'll capture all of the black. So again, you don't want it to, I mean, it just depends on what you're making, but it can look like that, where you have some of it cut off, some of it there, some of it not there. But for here, we want everything to fit there so that it'll fit perfectly as what we're looking at, so that all the words are on the actual graphic itself and not necessarily off of the graphic. But make sure we want to make sure that the words are on the graphic. We'll change the color of that to the FE5000. That's our color that we're using for the orange. And then there's words here. So as we see here, this is actually so this is where we're talking about what we're utilizing and what we're actually doing in Canva itself. So there's a few things. Number one, plan your design. Two, use templates. Three, play with typography. Four, incorporate visual elements. Five, maintain consistency. Six, think about alignment. Seven, optimize for different platforms. Eight, get feedback. Nine, keep it simple. And 10, stay inspired. So we're just going to recreate all of those things there, just right down here at the bottom, in order to be able to use that. We're going to bring this logo out slightly. Okay. Okay. And with your elements, a few things to note. You can always flip your element. All right, you can flip horizontally if that's what you wanted to be able to do, and you can also flip vertically if that's what you needed in order for this to work better for you. And actually, we're going to flip this vertically and see how well that is able to work. Then also you can change the sizing of this. So if you need to make this smaller, you're more than welcome to make that smaller, or however you see fit in order to be able to do what we need to do. So here we'll add text. We're going to add a potential subheading here, and then you can always change how you want things to look. So we're going to take a look at what the top has here, and everything is in bold, so that's something to note. And also there are effects here. There's a lift on everything, so we're just going to now get to typing. Let's change our color. Let's change this color here to white. Okay, and let's just make sure. And also you want to change the positioning of your. Where we go? Okay. we want to change the positioning of our word so that everything is on the left side here and not centered necessarily. And we're going to, we'll now start to add the actual wording here. So plan your design. That's, and we're also going to change our font. Make sure you change your font and know which font. So the font we're using here is now, and the font size is 12. So let's keep that in mind. So we're going to use font size now. We're going to take this font size down to 12. We're also going to make this bold. Okay. We're going to bring this over. Let's see how far it is here. Okay. Okay. All right. So now plan your design. So now we have one. Number two, use templates. All right. Number three, play with typography. Um, sorry. Okay. Then number four, we have incorporate visual elements. Okay. Then we have number five, maintain consistency. Let's see. Then number six, think about alignment. Okay. Then number seven, optimize for different platforms. Let's make sure optimize for different platforms. Okay. All right. So we're gonna actually bring this in. All right. So there we go. Optimize for different platforms. All right. Number eight is get feedback. Number nine is keep it simple. And number 10 is stay inspired. All right. So now I'm going to zoom out here. All right. So we see what we have. And then with our graphic that we have, let's see, we can actually, let's, uh, let's try to, we'll work with this so that we don't have as much of it here as we don't need. It won't really let us crop how we need to, but that's okay. We'll be able to work around that shortly. So the main thing is being able to make sure we have all of our words here as we do. So now let's make sure that we have our effects together. So intensity is at 100 here. So we're going to make sure that we also have those same effects. Let's see, and some of the effects we have a lift on that. So we're going to make sure that we have a lift here with intensity at 100. Okay. And I'll take a second really quick to be able to entertain any questions that you all may have. If anyone have any questions so far, please don't hesitate to ask so that we could make sure that we're being able to answer all of your questions tonight. All right, so we'll watch out for any comments you all and questions you all may have. All right, so there's another kind of paint splash on the opposite side, on the right side here. So we're going to be able to do the exact same thing. We're going to find another element that is a paint splash. We'll search for that again, and the magic recommendations. Let's see what I don't really like those recommendations. So let's see. Uh, so let's just try to find our own, since I don't really like the magic recommendations there. Let's see what else we could come up with that looks very similar. So what we're doing now is working on this what's highlighted here, working to find something comparable for that graphic, so that we could also add that graphic here. So let's perhaps take this one here. Okay, we're going to take this one here. And we'll use and work with this one for now. Okay, so let's see. So we're going to make this slightly larger. Okay. Then we have more words here. Presenter. We're going to add that. We're going to add that to the bottom of it, right in here. So we're going to add more text. We're going to add a subheading here. Okay. We're going to take this, we'll drag it over here. We'll start with having this position in the center of the actual graphic, but we'll change this depending on where it is up top. Then we have presenter. Okay. Then we're going to change the color of presenter, change the color and the font. Okay. All right, so now we have our font. We're going to go back to the top to see exactly what size this is. It's 20.9. So we just want to make sure that what we have here is pretty much the same. Okay. All right, so we have presenter. And we're going to check out the elements that are on the effects that are here. Or this has a lift with an intensity that which is at 100. There's no shape to it. So we'll make sure just be careful of that. We're going to click effects. We're going to give it a lift with an intensity of 100. We're also going to change the color, which I thought we did. No problem. We'll change the color. All right. So now we have our words presenter. And then now here there's a few different things. Okay. This is and we'll show you a few different ways on how to create this with a graphic and image like that, and one without an image and graphic like that, with the image just kind of standing on its own. All right. So this is what we call a shape. All right, so we're going to go back to elements as a shape and a frame, rather. So this here, where the picture is, and the picture can always come out. Let's see, but we're let's see. Okay, so we're looking at frames. So we'll try to find the frame. So if you notice, this is a frame here. This is very similar to what we have there. We'll add this to our graphic. We don't need an oval. Okay. So now we have our frame. All right, so we notice the frame is directly centered right in front of presenter, right below presenter. And we could possibly move those both over somewhat slightly. So we'll bring this over just a little. Okay. And then we're going to also now there's a few different ways that we could achieve the same goal. One, we have the actual we can add a border around our frame here. And it gives a few different ways of a border style. We're just going to add that border style to it in addition to our orange color that we have, FE5000. Now we have our frame with a orange border around it. Now we just need to add the actual picture itself. Okay. Okay. So all right, we're going to, for time's sake here, we're just going to copy that photo. I'm sure I have it on my computer. So we're adding the photo here. Okay. Now, as I mentioned before, this is how we'll make it with the actual photo. We can always remove the photo. My computer doesn't want to. My mouse here doesn't want to work very well. All right, so let me actually add the actual photo itself here. Let's see. The photo doesn't want to really come out. But the idea, so if you have a frame, the photo will come out. I'm not sure why I can't get the photo out of the actual graph, the frame here.
Try right clicking on it and see if it will let you um, remove it. Huh. Detach image right there.
Okay, there we go. All right. Okay. So let's see. Okay, thanks, John. So this is how. So I'll show you a few different things here. Okay. So let's say we. So there's a few different tools that we can use to be able to 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 just simply have the photo itself. Okay. We have Magic Grab. All right. Magic Grab. Okay, so here, if you notice, Magic Grab has just taken me out of the actual the TED Talk. So I'm just able to have this, so we can remove this background. If we desire to, we can remove the frame, remove those words. We can flip the image horizontally if we would like to. We can add the image here. We can make this, slightly bigger. Okay, position it there, then actually change the position, change it backwards so that our for content creators is not necessarily covering, the picture is not covering the words, but the words are somewhat covering the picture. We'll actually make this a little smaller so that we can add more words underneath. And nothing is covering nothing. All right, so and I'll bring this in some here. Okay. And so that's also another way of being able to achieve the same goal. And then we'll just take the words presenter for here. We've already made it, so we'll just copy it from here and I'll paste it here. But you know, we can add this on the side, right? So it's still there. It still says presenter. Okay. And now here it says Carlos Chavez Jr., National Award winning journalist, instructor, digital media production. So we can also add those to we'll add these words here. And if you notice, this is still the same text box, but there are slightly different colors. There's the orange and we have the white. So we'll show you how we achieve that. So we're going to add a text box down here below. We'll go with another subheading. And when you're making your text, you're gonna always change how your text looks. So it really doesn't matter all the time. All right, you say, well, you're typing something, but we can't really see what you're typing. That's because we haven't changed the color. So we're going to highlight everything here. All right. We're going to change the actual text color. So we're going to change that red. Okay. So now we have Carlos Chavez Jr. And then we're going to add more. All right, National Award winning journalist. Then also instructor, digital media. I cannot spell today. Digital media production. Okay, so now we're going to fix that up slightly. This font size, this is Cerebri. So we're going to change that to make sure it's also the correct font size, the actual, the correct font. Okay. And now, so how do we achieve the option of having some of the actual words one color and other words another color? That's very simple. You'll highlight the words that you want to change a different color. You click the text box there, and you change the color. And it is just that simple. But we also want to make sure we have the correct font size. So that's 13.6. So we're going to change this font size to 13.6. Now, some things you can also within this, you can make certain things let's say a different font size. So let's say if I wanted my name to possibly be, no, you can't really change the font size in certain things. You have to add. So if we wanted this to have a different font size, we'll just simply have to take this out. We'll copy that. We'll remove that. Bring that. Create another text box. Copy that. Put this on top here. And make this the font size that you want. We'll change that font size to 15. Change that font size to 15. Then we're also going to change the color here to the actual orange itself. All right. So that's how we also, if you wanted something to be the same with a different font size for something here in Canva. So now we're going to, and so one thing that I'm very big on as well is being able to group certain things together. Okay. So to group something together, just simply means that it's able to move at the same time. So now this is able to move here on the screen at the exact same time. So we're going to take a look at what we have here. Here is bold at the bottom.
If you can show them the spacing
Yes.
next to
Okay.
effects, the
Okay.
line spacing.
Yep. So spacing. Here we go. Spacing. Okay. So you have so here. So we'll take a look at the spacing with these words here. All right. So there's 0 letter spacing, but line spacing is 1.1, and the anchor text box is down. So we'll do the same thing here. So we'll go here, click spacing. We'll change this. Is it currently at 1.4? We'll move it to 1.1. That eliminates. So if you notice, that eliminates the spacing there. And let's make sure. Okay. Okay. So now we'll regroup this together. Bring that slightly up. And that is how we're able to have that, but also work with the spacing as well. All right, so there are a few other things that are here on the graphic. So there's one there's this design here. Okay, so this design, for time's sake, we're going to copy this design here. Since we're almost run out of time, we're going to simply copy this. We're going to paste this below. All right, and then we're going to position this. We're going to position. Let's not to the back. Let's position it backwards. Okay. So we position this backwards. We're going to bring this down so it doesn't cover all of our words there. Uh, okay. And so this adds, just adds a little bit more to your graphic, and you can add things down here. And it's simply because this photo here, we don't really need the entire photo there, right? So we just need to be able to show some things of the photo, but not the actual entire photo of this laptop here. So we'll put that back where we had that. Okay. And now there's a few more things here that we want to be able to add to it. So you have sponsors. For time's sake, we're going to copy that, add it here, bring this down some. Then there's also a few other logos and things here. So we're going to copy that as well, so we can get through this in hopefully the next 2 minutes. So we're just going to position this somewhere down here. There is one more. We're going to. These are all different elements. So if you notice here, we can press ungroup, and it ungroups all of those elements, and you're able to move them individually as you need to. But we don't need to do that right now. So we're just going to take this entire thing. We're going to copy this as well. We're going to paste this down here as well. Okay. So now we see our sponsor. So now this entire thing is there. And then there's one more element here. This is the QR code. So if you wanted to be able to add a QR code, there's actually an app within Canva that will allow you to be able to add QR codes if you want to be able to add a few more, add an actual QR code yourself. There's a QR code generator. Let's see. So you can actually search for this QR code. There's different apps within Canva that deals with actual QR codes. We're running out of time, so what we'll do is just copy this. Then we're going to paste this right here in the middle. So now we're going to let's change that. We're going to lock this graphic here into place so that it doesn't move. We can change these words. We can actually move these words up slightly. All right. Okay. So if you notice, we just change those words up a little bit. We can make that slightly larger. Still have presenter and then information there. Now we're going to go back to the top and fix the spacing and everything in our original heading. Okay, so let's see. So the spacing here, you have letter spacing is at 300. All right, so that's how we are able to make sure that is where it needs to be. So we're going to play with the spacing here. There's 0 letter spacing. We're going to change that to 300, and let's see. Okay. Okay. Intensity. Okay. So we're going to take a look again here. Let's see. All right. Effects. Okay. We have our lift and intensity. We're going to also make that bold. Okay. So then we have the Be On Air Forum and Media Makers Content Creator Club presents Unlock Your Creativity, Canva. So now, since we are running out of time, we're just going to take a look at what we have here. So we have one graphic here at the top. This is our original graphic. Okay, that's the original graphic. And then here at the bottom is what we've completely just remade. We've completely remade this from literally a blank canvas, essentially, and to be able to make and show you all how to work this in Canva. So I hope that this was able to. I know we are running out of time. Are there any questions, really quick? Do we have time for questions, Linda and John?
We have time for questions. I'm not sure. I think you might have covered everything. There were a few questions in the chat about elements, which I think John addressed, as we were moving through. For those that are on, if anybody wants to put a quick question in chat, please feel free to do that. I know, honestly, I think as we build it, it brings more questions about, right? Because there's so much information for everybody to take in. Holly, I'm not sure. Do you see any questions in the chat?
No, I don't see any questions as of now. I know we did address a couple, but I think mainly just really seeing the difference between the paid Canva and the free version. And if you're worried about watermark, you'll see those little crowns. And when you go to your elements and your music, and it's going to tell you what is free and not free. But I encourage you to play until you really get the hang of it. But I think that's it for now. The only other thing that we want to do is announce the winner to our Real Dreams competition. And we had a lot of interest and a lot of submissions, and definitely keep track on our socials. We're always posting stuff on stories, and you're going to see, even at your individual schools and campuses, keep track of what's going on. There's some opportunities.
Too many people sleep on their dreams. So I knew I had to stay awake for mine. What got me here, it only costed me a dream. But what gets me there is seeking for it to exist. If I can sacrifice for distractions, then I definitely can sacrifice for my legacy. This is where we no longer dream. This is where we put in the work. I come here to contribute to my legacy. My dream is to just be the greatest. So the real question is, are you a dreamer or initiator?
Well done. Congratulations, Derek DeLeon from Colorado Media School.
Derek's on tonight. Thanks, Derek, for being a part of this. And that's so awesome. Good for you. Good for you. And so I think that wraps us for tonight. And thank you for all you creators. Keep creating. You know, as Holly mentioned, get yourselves onto Canva. Click away. Don't be afraid to click. Put elements in, take elements out, find your brand colors that you're working with. Recommendation, you know, figure out your brand kit. It's just as important. Your colors that you choose, the fonts that you choose will help to define who you are and what it is that you're doing. And we invite you, play, as Holly said, and see what you come up with and submit them. Let us see on campus what you're doing. Carlos, thank you so much. It's not easy to take apart somebody else's flyer and put it back together. And so hats off to you. I think you did a great job in a quick hour. And there's John, the flyer creator, right? What do you think, John? What do you think?
Oh, let's unmute him. Say it again, John.
Oh, I thought I was talking. I said, oh, no, really excellent job. I think this was the way to do it so that give people an idea of, the end state, what's the end state in mind that you want, and then walking them through recreating it. Some of it, was repetitive in terms of the fonts, but learning about kerning, how much you gap your letters and characters and whatnot, and font styles, the effects, right down to the QR code, right? Creating a QR code and linking it with the code itself. So awesome work. And we will figure out what we will be doing next week when we rejoin. Those that are here, this is the Be On Air Forum. The Be On Air Forum will be back in 2 weeks. Probably back towards more of our traditional format of having more of the guest speakers than the tools of the trade. Remember this, but next week will be the Content Creators Club at this same time. This is where we bring kind of like what we did tonight, right? We bring tools or concepts to our content creators. We'll also be introducing the next contest at that point in time. And then the contest will go from a weekly contest to every 2 weeks. So we'll and in between we'll have the forum. So that's all I got to say about it.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Everything is going to build a stronger, better you for those of you that are just starting out. And for those of you who are advancing in your career, we hope with the forum that you're going to be, really meet those industry pros. They're going to talk about the industry and how they've grown within it and recommendations for you. And then on the creativity side, these workshops are very, very useful. And I think, as it creates even more questions in your mind, we come back and we revisit these kinds of things, come back to Canva and play with it again, because practice equals success. The more you use it, the better you're going to feel about it, and you'll be creating amazing content. Don't expect it your first time around, right? It is really challenging, but all those elements are there. And I really think that's what makes Canva so very, very exciting. You can use it as a novice, and as you grow, you're going to have even better content. So we thank you for joining us tonight. We were so fortunate to have this content creation workshop, and we'll continue to offer more. So For now, good night, farewell, and have a great evening. And we look forward to seeing you on YouTube again soon from the Be On Air Network. Thank you.